Alright, hello everyone, and welcome now to Game 2 between HLAoo and Juan. It is going to be orange versus green. HLAoo was pink in the previous matchup, so he is up 1-0 in this series. And this is on Death Road 1.2, and it gets its name, obviously, by this giant road that leads all the way across the map. Now, taking a look at the creep camps, this is the first time I have cast the game here, so you got a 3-2-2 creep camp here. Let's see, the map looks relatively small based upon what I see here. There is another 5-3-3 creep camp here, and is that brush? Yes, that is brush right there. So brush making it difficult to see what's on the other side. Meanwhile, coming back over here, you can see Juan is spawning as the teal undead. Undead versus undead in this mirror matchup once more, and I believe we are going to be seeing most likely an early Death Knight coming in from Juan and from actually no, HLAoo is actually going to be a little bit behind, so we are now going to be seeing ghouls coming in from teal this time. And will the ghouls actually be a better opening? Now, the map is relatively small, so with a small map like this, we are going to see these players scout each other out relatively quickly, as the Acolyte, a little more than halfway across the map, they're going to walk through that brush there, reveal itself a little bit, and now make its way back out, continuing to make its way off over here. Now, let's take a look. We do see the Tomb of Relics and the Altar of Darkness. Ziggurat currently being summoned into position. And what is the hero of choice going to be from Orange? Orange will be going for, wait for it, a Death Knight. So it is going to be a Death Knight versus Death Knight, but there is about a 40-second difference between the Death Knights of each of these players. Now, what we could in fact see though is that with this Death Knight coming out slightly faster, it is going to be creeping out much more aggressively. If it can perhaps get 2 to 3, level 2, perhaps even level 3 down, nope, it is actually just going to go ahead and try to come in from some sort of harassment. That doesn't make much sense to me, as the Death Knight is not really going to be able to do that much harassment at all. Death coils onto Acolytes only heal them. He's going to try to run in and really not be able to do much of anything. Alright, so an Acolyte now off to the north. You can see that there is brush right here, and perhaps Juan is actually going to try and perhaps summon a Ziggurat right there. And if he does summon a Ziggurat right there on the other side, I don't know if the orange player would actually know about it. So here we go. The Acolyte now coming in. He does spot a little bit, and here we go. Now coming in, the Death Knight and some units are already pushing. There is one Nerubian tower, and this is just going from bad to worse very quickly, as all the work that Juan did early on to try to perhaps get in some early damage is all for naught, pretty much, as we're going to see some Acolytes just take a bit of damage there. There's a Death Coil to try and save a Skeletal Warriors, as the Skeletal Minions and the Graveyard is actually causing a bit of problem. Alright, here we go. There's another Death Coil. Are Acolytes falling? That is the question that I'm trying to answer. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Acolytes still going, as the Acolytes perhaps should have been going after some of these units. Is this Acolyte gonna get taken down? All right, Acolyte still wandering around here. There goes I believe, no, that Acolyte did not get taken down. And so far, Orange doing a great job of just making sure that none of his Acolytes fell. Meanwhile, this does mean that Juan does have a significant advantage in terms of getting the tier 2. The whole entire reason why Orange was not taking the tier 2 during that time was just in case an Acolyte fell, he needed to be able to re-summon that Acolyte or retrain that Acolyte. If the Halls of the Dead was currently upgrading, or it was being upgraded, then that is not going to work out all too well. We can see the Crypt Fiends are now making their way down over here. The Death Knight is coming over with a Crypt Fiend and some Skeletal Minions. If the Teal Undead can in fact get off an Acolyte kill or 2, that would be a huge turnaround, as all that time while the Halls of the Dead is being constructed, that would be a significant loss in mining time. Let's come across over here. One low hit point Acolyte, Undead. Death Knight now looking to come in here. Is this going to be any significant move, as the Death Knight almost at level 2 already, as we now see the Skeletal Minions simply just trying to run in. This seems to be just a suicide move, as the Skeletal Minions are just trying to chase after the Acolyte. The Death Knight does get off the Death Coil. It is going to save it again, as a new Acolyte now going to get taken down. More Skeletal Minions are coming over from Orange, and Orange looks like he will be able to fend off the attack. Does a Crypt Fiend get taken down? Yes, one Crypt Fiend is in fact taken down there, and this is just not looking good in this Undead matchup. No, other Crypt Fiend is off here, and now we see not only is there a level advantage, he didn't really do any damage with that earlier opening. Let's take a look now. Are we going into that Altar of Darkness with that Lich? Yes, we are. And with that Lich, perhaps he will see a little bit more effective harassment. Now, we do in fact know that there is a lot of places that creep on this map, and if the Death Knight can in fact creep out a lot of these units. Oh look, there's actually Blight in certain areas, so perhaps that's a very good area for Undead players to try and creep out. Now going to be pulling those skeletal skeleton warriors away from this location here, as there is a Burning Archer as well. So I believe, yes, these are Undead units, so you cannot in fact nuke them with the Death Coil. You can only heal them, and you will not heal them at all. Alright, so there's a lot of Skeleton Warriors here. Crypt Fiends going at it. You can see more Skeletal Warriors coming in as the Skeleton Warrior is battling it out. Rune of Rebirth. Are we going to see the... Yes, there is a Skeletal Marksman joining in on the fight. It could get Searing Arrow. Not quite sure why it isn't getting Searing Arrow, as we are now currently at level 2. Death Knight continuing this fight. There is another Burning Archer. So a Burning Archer and a Skeletal Marksman. Both of them have been resurrected, and this looks like a very interesting map that actually has Runes of Rebirth on low level here. So this perhaps would have been a very strong place to try and creep out early with a whole bunch of ghouls. And if he did that, he would have had a significant level advantage. Not quite sure why he decided not to do that, as we now see this 5-3-3-3-4-4 creep camp getting creeped out. Renegade Wizard is going to fall pretty quickly. Down it goes. You can see this Crypt Fiend is dealing a lot of damage to this Marksman. This Marksman should perhaps just walk away just a little bit, and it looks like it is going to be able to walk away there. Alright, what item was left behind? Potion of Invulnerability. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal now being used. Are we going to perhaps hire anything new? Is that Null Assassin going to get taken down? And no, it is not, as we now see the Town Portal has come in. That Frost Nova catching perhaps that one Crypt Fiend a little bit off guard, not realizing that it is going to get slowed, and the Searing Arrows dealing so much damage over there. There's still one Null Assassin here, as we now see continual creeping coming in from the Undead. Level 3 on that Death Knight. Meanwhile, coming across over here, level 3 on the Death Knight here. I do believe that the Lich is getting very close to level 2, and as it gets closer and closer to level 2, the hero advantage is going to switch back over. So that fast creep, that fast tech did in fact make a significant difference. There is a 4-3-3 or 4-3 creep camp left here, which should give the Lich level 2 in just a second. Frost Armor, or most likely Dark Ritual to get additional mana off of those skeletal minions. Always a very nice choice there. Meanwhile, you can see one skeletal minion giving in a little bit of a chase. Lich is only sitting at level 1 on his opponent, and we are still seeing... Oh, what is this? Why did he use his Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, or a Potion of Invulnerability? That must have been why he made that funny face. Hopefully that does not come back to haunt him, as a Tome of Agility has been left behind. The item is a Wand of Lightning, or Wand of Lightning Shield. Yep, that's the name. Almost forgot it for a second, as we now see, what is this? A couple of peasants hanging around, not doing anything. Alright, a 6-2-2-2-2 or 6-2-2-3 creep camp now off to the north. This is just perhaps one of the strangest maps I've seen. Not your standard composition of units, as Lightning Shield has quickly been sold. Picking up a Wand of Mana Stealing, selling it for a Scroll of Town Portal. I don't know, the Wand of Mana Stealing would have been very nice. Tome of Agility on that Death Knight. I believe he's had 2 of them, so he does get additional armor significantly. Now up to 19 agility. That does account for an additional full point of armor, as the Death Knight now makes its way over. Alright, a pack horse. Wow, that's... Some of these doodads I have not seen in quite some time. Alright, Elder Shaman, 7-6-4 camp over here. It looks like it can get taken down. There is no Rod of Necromancy left anywhere. The Lich should be getting to level 3 here, as the Wand of Lightning Shield actually, or the Armor Shield, Lightning Shield actually dealing a lot of damage. Forebolt Tracker now hiding off over here as another Lightning Shield comes in. Wand needs to make its way over. It needs to make sure it is not dealing any more units. Level 3 now on the Lich, as both sides are trying to creep out. Down goes another unit there, as the Death Knight may in fact try to creep out this Fountain of Power. That gives both mana and health. Alright, a rather unusual creep camp, Messenger of Pain, and also a Nether Drake, Siphon Life on that one particular, yes, that Maiden of Pain. That Maiden of Pain will get taken down. Also, I believe a critical strike now on the Death Knight. We do see a spiked collar has been left behind, as now we see level 4 and a Staff of Silence. Alright, Staff of Silence. Meanwhile, down over here, Phobo Tracker, very, very nice creep camp, and we are just seeing both of these players creep out very aggressively. Let's keep track of what the items are. Destroyer sitting at Destroyer with no mana. There is Silence now coming in as the Vile Tormentor, now with a whole bunch of mana, trying to just push this through. Alright, Nether Drake now taken down pretty quickly. You can see Siphon Life as the one Crypt Fiend trying to pull away. It does not make it in time. It gets taken down. Maiden of Pain now taken down as the Gem of Health. That is going to be a huge item. The Gem of Health, I believe, gives... Is it 250 hit points? I really forget how many hit points that Gem of Health gives, but I do in fact know it is a lot, as the Bandit Lord now going to get slowly crept out. Okay, so both sides staying on their side of the road, and we are going to see what a Healing Ward now come in. Crypt Lord, this is the Undead tri-hero known for nuking Lich, Crypt Lord, and Death Knight, even though the Death Knights are more there to heal units anyways. Here we go. We are going to see the engagement now come in. And how much damage are we going to have? The Tomb of Relics now going to get taken down, as we can see that the Destroyer now trying to pull back 2-0 on the upgrade. And this Tomb of Relics taking a lot of damage, but the Scroll of Town Portal does come in, and all the units do land in time. So burning the Scroll of Town Portal as Teal now backs away. I believe the hero advantage, what Staff of Silence meant or means, because the Death Knight got a Staff of Silence, he did not need to get a Dark Ranger. He could actually go for a Crypt Lord instead, a much beefier, tankier hero. And I believe he did get spiked armor, and with that spiked armor, just additional armor, yeah, +3 armor there, very difficult to take out. And even if, skeletal minions try to attack him, they will be taking and suffering damage as well. Alright, one creep camp left off over here. A couple of creep camps left on the other side of the map. Abomination still off here, as well as the Destroyer. Oh, this Renegade Wizard camp is going to get taken out as well. Let's go for it. Let's see what's going to happen here. Renegade Wizard camp now getting cleared out rather quickly. Wanda Mana Stealing, another Wanda Mana Stealing, as the Death Knight now trying to pull away. Perhaps noticed that the Death Knight was nearby, and this could be a potentially huge battle. All right, who has the better items? That's really what it's going to come down to. And the extra health on both the Death Knight and the Dark Ranger, or does the Lich have it? Where is the Lich? Yeah, on the Lich, is that going to be causing problems? All right, both sides still fighting here. There is the Impale, just knocking up all the units. There's a Frost Nova, and down goes one Crypt Fiend in an instant. All right, are we going to see perhaps another Frost Nova? Frost Nova, no, Death Coil misses, and there's another Impale as the Frost Nova comes in. So much damage, and Orange on the run. Finally, we see a Death Coil to heal, but one Crypt Fiend, and all right, the Fell Stalker coming in. Lich now sitting at level 4, and the Fell Stalker with Mana Burn could cause some serious problems. Let's see, Lich is off to the north. He does have that, Potion of Divinity and a Mana Stone, and it really seems like Orange should be able to come out ahead. He has better items, but this is not the way things are unfolding. All right, the Tomb of Relics, come on, take it down. There it goes, as now we're going to see a little bit of a fight. Mana Burn onto the Lich. Lich now down to 147 mana, and continuing that fight here. All right, are we perhaps going to see another Mana Burn, as we do see Silence come in across the board? All right, units are now trying to back away. There's a Death Coil saving the units, as Orange just trying to fight in a very, very good position, has not been able to, as we also see the Healing Ward in the back, keeping all of the units alive. And I do in fact believe that Juan, the Teal Undead, is going to take this victory. He just has superior numbers and has been dealing so much damage to all the units here. Once the Potion of Divinity does wear off, oh, beautiful Scroll of Town Portal just in time. You can see the animation, and Orange loses his Lich as well. An Abomination and a Crypt Fiend get caught just a bit too far. And will they be able to run away? The Abomination does move fairly fast, but a Crypt Fiend with beautiful pathing now coming in, blocking that Abomination. The Death Knight will get the kill, and the Dark Ranger will get to level 3. Beautiful strategy by Juan, beautiful execution, just constantly staying ahead in terms of experience early on, getting the tier 2 faster. Even though he didn't level up his primary hero faster, he leveled up his secondary and his third hero significantly faster, as we now see him also using this Fountain of Power. The Fountain of Power also gives mana, and you can see how effectively Teal is using this. He's gonna have full mana and hit points on all of his units. Meanwhile, even though that Orange is gonna have full hit points and mana on all of his units, or should have it, no, he's not gonna have it. The Lich is not even gonna have 70, or not gonna even have 100 mana for the next fight. That is potentially game changing and game breaking, as we see a full hit point or full mana Lich with a wand of mana stealing versus a Lich that does not have full mana, and that is just gonna really unfold rather poorly for the Orange player. All right, let's take a look. Looks like the expansions are still quite good for now in terms of how much gold they have in them. Crypt Fiends and Death Knight now looking to come in and engage. There is a lot of Crypt Fiends here. The Crypt Fiends are upgraded 3-1, and this potentially could be huge, as we are now pushing in. Death Knight leading the charge, and now what is going to be happening here? Is that Crypt going to actually chain up a new unit? I do believe it popped out in just a moment, as the Crypt Fiends should be trying to engage. The Lich, both sides have Orbs of Corruption, I believe. Yes, they do. Dark Ranger. And there you go, Lich now seeing that level 3. Are we going to see an engagement here as the Crypt now trying to pull in? There's the Impale, picking up everything just a moment. And now there goes one Death Knight. All right, Destroyers are battling it out. Dark Ranger, more units getting taken on as the Death Knight now seeing that level 5. Are we going to perhaps see a Silence be cast? And how much damage are we going to have? Dark Ranger not going to get taken down. There it goes. Orange is now down to 2 heroes, as the Dark Ranger does fall. Obsidian Statues doing their job, but no. An interesting game here. Wow, an interesting game on Death Road. A rather unorthodox strategy. Juan opened up with the faster Death Knight to try and delay HLAoo's tech to tier 2. He did in fact do that, even though he didn't kill one single Acolyte. Delaying the tech to tier 2 allowed the Lich to join in on the fight, and a full minute and a half with a hero compared to his opponent, and that's all it really took, and Juan took control and took game 2 rather impressively. Please stay tuned for game 3.